Golden
So do you
Gate
think
Bridge,
September 11th?
7/11. And he told us 711 days ago the Golden Gate Bridge was the mark on September 11th. So it's time for the Golden
So do you
Gate
think
Bridge.
September 11th is when it gets hit, or what?
No, I think tonight actually.
Well, I mean,
That
okay.
might be that
Wow,
might
that
be
threw. I didn't
optimistic.
expect that one.
That might be optimistic, but last night was 88 months or 88 days rather from May 27th, the anniversary of the Golden Gate Bridge opening. And that day just so happens to be the same day that Christopher Reeves was paralyzed 696 months after the Golden Gate Bridge opened.
Look
So
at the look how the clouds are moving here, almost like smoke. Do you see that?
right?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
look how they're going back and forth like smoke, and then the Dedeco, and then these what are these lightning bolt looking things, charges on the bridge. Jeez, I think there's a lot here, man.
There is so much here.
The
So
butterfly,
so
is there anything with the butterfly? I mean, there's obviously, I mean,
so we are the butterfly. So the butterfly starts off as a caterpillar, right, and goes
right.
into a cocoon and emerges as something much more beautiful after the transition. So why are all these bridges going down? Because a bridge is a transition, right, to the
So
other
you
side,
believe
and
a
we are
hundred
about.
you believe 100% that the Golden Gate Bridge will be hit tonight?
So yesterday was 88 months from the day that the Golden Gate Bridge opened and Christopher Reeves was paralyzed. And the day before that, 2 days ahead of schedule, was 711 days since Elon told us the mark, and he told us 711 was the go good. So from all of the math, it makes it look like the Golden Gate Bridge will be hit tonight. Tomorrow would be Black Monday. And what is Tuesday? Macaulay Culkin's birthday. Did Kevin set his alarm for Christmas morning? Get ready. Merry Christmas, Anna, and celebrate this day in a special way.
I mean,
So
you
there's
don't think
a
you might be far-reaching in this? I agree with you that it could be the Golden Gate Bridge that gets hit, but I mean, to just give a precise, I mean, look, this is what you do, not
I
me.
like I said, it's just the numbers. The numbers can only get it so far, right? I can't make it happen. However, it should happen within 17, tomorrow being 17 days from 9/11. It makes sense in the numbers, but our DNA has to unlock before the 24th anniversary of 9/11. So that means that we have less than 30 days for everything to happen. So it would make sense for it to happen tonight and for it to be the catalyst. I could be optimistic. I can't make anything happen
So are
quicker
they
than
are
it's
they
supposed
trying
to.
to stop our DNA from unlocking, obviously with vaccines and things like that? But a scare event will what happened? Like, does that help it unlock or not unlock?
So it helps us to awaken everybody to what happened, right? So Henry Kissinger was born the same day that Golden Gate Bridge opened and the same day that Christopher Reeves was paralyzed. Henry Kissinger warned the world of superhumans before he died, just like Stephen Hawking did. And he was also in one of the Q drops in regards to the COVID-19 vaccine. You have bad blood now. They created a bioweapon intentionally designed to turn off our chromosomes before our DNA unlocked.
Evil.
And that's because we would be too powerful after the fact, right? And these people want to keep all their power. So Genesis 3:22, the man has learned the difference between good and evil. He can now become like one of us, a god, eat and drink from the tree of life. So if you look at the numbers, 3:22 is what? The skull and bones. So the road between good and evil, they cracked the code to eternal life. That's what all of this has been about. And they were trying to ensure that before our ascension, this natural event that they could not prevent happening, that they took our power before they had a chance, natural selection. That's why they pushed it on everybody. But it doesn't mean that it was successful. It doesn't mean that if you got the COVID-19 vaccine that you won't ascend. Ascension is coming from everybody because with this fake nuclear event, it allows them to shut down the nuclear power grid, flip the switch onto quantum energy, which is the bridge between Superman and Elon Reeves Musk, just like Christopher Reeves, Elon Reeves Musk is Tesla. Tesla,
Huh,
quantum
do you think
energy.
that's also why Trump is deploying the National Guard? I've always suspected, and I've good reason to believe it's for arrests that are coming and to stop the civil unrest. But do you think this could also be a reason? So when the Golden Gate Bridge goes down or whatever this event is, that there will be chaos and that
Absolutely. Yeah, Q specifically said, where did we send out National Guard recently? They have a few posts that cover that. And they specifically said that they're sending out the National Guard to where? San Francisco. And we know that's where the Black Swan event is. So it would make sense. The Black Swan event on Statue of Liberty, she represents our slavery to Colombia, our slavery to the CIA, right? So we will be slaves no more. She's on an island. They can easily blow her up and be done with that. So I think that will be real. The question is, will the Golden Gate Bridge be real, or will it be an illusion to wake everybody up, just like the Wizard of Oz, and show the man behind the curtain? Because you can use HARP and create a fog screen around the bridge. And if you remember, Houdini, one of the biggest illusionists out there, had his underwater illusion where he was in chains underwater in San Francisco, signaling an illusion. And they just announced the movie Now You See Me 3, which is all about illusionists, right? So you have to believe the lie before they can show you the truth. So it would make sense that they would
Doesn't
create.
the Statue of Liberty represent Satan, Lucifer?
Yep, they created her in Lucifer's image because of the fact that they are all Satanists.
Right, and then she has the chain, right? Right
Yep, she
there.
shows our slavery to Colombia and our slavery to the Satanists. So she has to come down. That won't be an illusion. The Golden Gate Bridge would make sense if it was an illusion to be the greatest illusion on a global scale. That way they could open the doors into the past for 9/11, which they blamed on ISIS, again, a god, right? Saving Israel for last. So we'll see how it all happens. It could very much be real. It could very much be an illusion. But if the bridge does go down, it allows all the bodies by the bay that the Satanists used as sacrifices to come ashore.
Wow. So we definitely know. Look, you're going to say, you say tonight. That makes me feel like I have to put the video up tonight. But I mean, we can say the next 17 days is what for sure, or the next, would you say this year? Could we, I don't know, man. I mean, I just don't like to get predictions or dates or anything like that, but
So the way I do day-to-day correlation, which is where the numbers get me, right? And so the numbers show that everything has to happen within the next 17 days as far as our DNA. So we need that catalyst. And so we also have to have the crash before we can have declass, right? The stock market crash. And it's all tied to this event that's about to take
and
place.
I agree with that. I agree with that. Do
So,
you also think this comet is going to have anything to do with the alien card they play?
yeah, absolutely. So Comet Atlas. So it ties into that Ascension component through Atlas Comics, being Marvel. It ties into the Hadron Collider Kern because it was called Atlas. Also, Atlas is the asteroid comet database detection tool. So Atlas has a lot of meanings. There was also the Titan Atlas. So there's everything that they're putting in front of us is for a reason. And today is the birthday of what's his name, Chad Michael Murray. And again, all their birthdays are designed by Operation Mockingbird, so it's not random. Chad Michael Murray starred in One Tree Hill, and his entire character was based off of the fact that he wrote the book The Comet over the girl he loved. And
Oh,
his
wow.
brother was number 23, and 23 is our ascension. So they've been predictably programming everything through our movies and our music. So Superman being the backbone of all of this. Q's post about 5/5. Watch New York, watch California, the Black Swan event. Specifically says Allison Mack, find the bridge. Watch New York, watch California. Allison Mack was the star of Smallville about Superman.